So now in the previous recording I have shown you about the key of hypothalamus. Okay, how which hypothalamus is occupying a key position. Okay, now it will become more clear if you study the connections, because there are a lot of connections between hypothalamus and you can say limbic system, and you can say neocortex and brainstem. Okay, so all these connections play key role in controlling the many function. Okay, so initially I will be drawing the diagram, okay, and then I will be showing you in flowchart form so that it becomes very clear. Okay, so again, this is your okay. Before starting connection, I think I have not told you about various group of nucleus. Okay, so first I will be telling you about nucleus. Okay, then I will be starting with the connections. Okay, so this is optic chiasma. There is very easy way to remember all group of nucleus. Okay, so what you can see here, important thing, optic chiasma. Okay, so like if you see here nucleus. Okay, so some see, my relation may be wrong here, so means it should be little bit laterally. Okay, so just for the sake of understanding I am drawing like this only. Okay, so here it is what, optic chiasma. Okay, so if you take this portion, can you say that this portion is anterior to optic chiasma? Okay, so one group of nucleus is what, pre-optic. What it is? Pre-optic. Okay, pre-optic is mainly concerned with release of gonadotropin releasing hormone. It is also concerned with sexual behavior. Okay, so pre-optic, one group is what, pre-optic. You can call it medial pre-optic and lateral pre-optic. Okay, here you can also call pre-optic function, one of the function is thermostat. Okay, means temperature regulation also it is playing the role. Okay, now since it is pre-optic means anterior. Okay, so you can call that there will be some, now one was pre-optic portion, other you can call, since pre-optic is there, there will be some supraoptic group. Okay, so then there are some supraoptic group also. Okay, so one group of nucleus is what, supraoptic. Okay, then other is in supraoptic only. One is in supraoptic, there is supraoptic group is there. Then SCN means suprachiasmatic group of nucleus is there. Okay, and then other is there like anterior group of nucleus is there. Okay, paraventricular is there. See, they are not going so much up near the corpus callosum. Okay, but for the sake of understanding I am drawing it little bit big. Okay, so supraoptic is there, preoptic is there. Okay, now see here this portion. This portion it is known as tuber cinereum. Okay, here there is one swelling is there known as what, median eminence. Here there is one swelling known as median eminence. Okay, now see, this is supraoptic. Now other group of nucleus, okay, they were located in this, you can say, near the tuber. So that you can call it as tubercle. Okay, so in tubercle what is there? Arcuate is there, ventromedial is there, dorsomedial is there. Okay, and you can take one posterior also. Okay, so posterior group, so all these are nucleus are coming in which tubercle. Okay, so then what is remaining now? Posterior. Okay, so here mainly you can say two group of nucleus are, or you can call it as straight away mammillary group. These are your mammillary nucleus. Okay, these are your mammillary nucleus. Okay, so all these are the various group of nucleus. Okay, I will just revise it. Okay, so this is your optic chiasma. Okay, so here it is preoptic, then supraoptic, suprachiasmatic, anterior group of nucleus, paraventricular group of nucleus. Okay, then tubercle, see this is arcuate, then ventromedial, dorsomedial, posterior. Okay, this was your supraoptic, suprachiasmatic, then what was it? Anterior and paraventricular. Okay, and in the end here mainly mammillary. Okay, so these are the various group of nucleus. Okay, so here now if you take hypothalamus, it is distributed, it is divided into medial hypothalamus and lateral hypothalamus. See, hypothalamus is not two, it is only one. Okay, so hypothalamus is divided into medial hypothalamus and lateral hypothalamus. Okay, now it will become how it is divided, okay, into medial and lateral hypothalamus. Okay, so I will just tell here only, and then we will start with the connection. Okay, so this is your ventricle and this is hypothalamus. Okay, now what is here? See, whenever I am drawing some diagram like this, it is hippocampus. Okay, now hippocampus is coming like this. Okay, here I am drawing one hippocampus only. Okay, there will be two hippocampus. Okay, right and left. So here hippocampus will be coming like this. Okay, and hippocampus, this portion is known as fornix. What it is known as? Fornix. Now fornix is going to what? Mammillary body, and from mammillary body it is going to thalamus, anterior nucleus of thalamus. Okay, now see this portion. Okay, what is this portion? Fornix, right? Okay, you can say fornix and mammillothalamic tract. Fornix and mammillothalamic tract. So this is dividing hypothalamus into medial and lateral hypothalamus. Okay, so this will be lateral hypothalamus and this will be medial hypothalamus. This will be lateral hypothalamus, this will be medial, and some group of nucleus are there which are located around the ventricle. You can call it as periventricular nucleus, and some group of nucleus which are located, you can say, near the ventricle, that you can call it as paraventricular nucleus. Okay, so what is dividing hypothalamus into medial and lateral? fornix. Okay, so these are the various group of nucleus. Okay, so now we will be going this connection, this is one of the connection only. Okay, this will be, this we are again going to study. Okay, so various group of nucleus we have studied. All these nucleus are going to come again and again. Okay, now what we will study, now we will study about the connections of the hypothalamus. So first I will be telling you some in diagram form, and then I will be using the flow chart. Okay, so okay, so this is olfactory tubercle. See, this is your septal area. Septal nucleus or septal area. This portion you can call it olfactory cortex, and you can call it pyriform cortex. And this all portion you will call it temporal cortex. Okay, now what are the various relations of the hypothalamus? So somewhere here is your hypothalamus. Okay, so first relation, first see, we have already studied it. Okay, so first, what is this? Hippocampus. Okay, hippocampus, around hippocampus is what? Parahippocampus gyrus. Okay, now how it will do? It will go like this. See, even I will not be able to cover all connections. Okay, but major connections I will be covering. Okay, some connections I may miss. Okay, so that is why you have to see book also. Okay, so this is hippocampus. Hippocampus is coming via fornix, and via fornix it is going where? Which group? M for mammillary. Okay, and from mammillary where it will go? It will go, A is for anterior nucleus of thalamus. A is for anterior nucleus of thalamus. Okay, so this is thalamus. Okay, and from thalamus it is again going to cingulate gyrus, entorhinal cortex. Okay, so that is Pepys circuit. Okay, so this is connection number 1. Okay, so from hippocampus it is coming like this. Okay, then near the hippocampus there is one other portion known as amygdala. See, amygdala may have a direct connections like this. Okay, you can call this is as direct connection, means it is directly going to the hypothalamus. Okay, yeah, it may go like this. Okay, it may come like this. Okay, now this is known as what? Stria terminalis. See how it is connected. Till now I am telling you only connections with the hippocampus. Okay, so hippocampus is connected through mammillary nucleus. Okay, amygdala nucleus also is connected like this. Okay, and all these are afferent as well as efferent connection. Okay, even fornix is having some portion from septal nuclei also. Okay, so these are two connections are there. Okay, then any other simple connections which you can remember very easily? See, hypothalamus, when it is hypothalamus, it is one of the important portion of function of hypothalamus is what? Endocrine. So if this is hypothalamus, so somewhere here there are two glands are there. Okay, which are these two glands?
Pituitary.
Anterior pituitary and other is what? Posterior pituitary. Okay, now if you take posterior pituitary, what is the difference? In posterior pituitary, hormones are released itself in the hypothalamus and they are going straight away stored in the posterior hypothalamus. Okay, so which nucleus? If you take posterior, it is related to arcuate, not arcuate, supraoptic and paraventricular. Okay, supraoptic and paraventricular. So can you tell me one connection from supraoptic and paraventricular? There will be one only efferent connection. There will be no afferent connection. Efferent, it is sending. Okay, supraoptic, paraventricular. What they are releasing? They are releasing oxytocin and vasopressin. Okay, which I think is already over. Vasopressin, I know at least it is over. Okay, so anyway function we are going to study. So next connection is from posterior hypothalamus. Okay, then since posterior hypothalamus is there, okay, then there will be what? Anterior pituitary. Okay, so from anterior pituitary, what is there? Arcuate nucleus. Okay, so here you know there is one system known as, okay, I will just come here. There is one system known as portal system. What it is? Portal system. What is the portal system? It is starting with the capillaries and ending with the capillaries only. Okay, so in median eminence, there are some capillaries and they are going where? Okay, from so there are various hormones are there, releasing hormones. Okay, so they are going to the anterior pituitary. So that will be other connections. Easy to remember. Okay, so these are connections. Okay, other connections are there. Okay, now there is one important connections are there which is coming from, see this portion I have told you it is called as what? Orbitofrontal cortex. Okay, orbitofrontal cortex. Okay, now here there is one term known as MFB. So what it is? It is medial forebrain bundle. What it is? It is medial forebrain bundle. Okay, now for this I will be using just red. See, connections are coming from orbitofrontal cortex and here from septal area or septal nucleus. They are going into the hypothalamus. Okay, and from hypothalamus you can say they are going to the brainstem also. Okay, so understood what is medial forebrain bundle? Okay, it is receiving all this from signals from septal and orbitofrontal cortex and it will run into the hypothalamus and from there it will ultimately go to the brainstem. Okay, so this is known as what? Medial forebrain bundle. What it is? Medial forebrain bundle. And remember, medial forebrain bundle name is medial, but it runs in lateral portion of hypothalamus. It's run in lateral portion of hypothalamus. Okay, so this is other connections. Okay, then one connection of hypothalamus, I have already told you that it is connected with the thalamus. Okay, hypothalamus is connected with the thalamus. Okay, so here I have told you it is connected with the anterior group of nucleus. Okay, it may be connected to the medial group of nucleus. Medial group of nucleus are there in thalamus. Okay, so it is connected to thalamus also. Okay, then it is connected to various other portion of neocortex also. Okay, from neocortex signals are coming and they are going also. Okay, so these are some of the connections of the of what of hypothalamus and interconnections of the limbic system. Okay, so now we will be studying about, I will be telling you about all this connection in flowchart form so that you can remember it properly.